The part of my job I love is handicapping games, especially in college basketball. I'll tell you what, if you do the work in the month of November and part of December, and you really put in the time to look at how these teams do on a nightly basis in non-conference play, it makes college basketball handicapping at this time of the season, where everybody's knee deep in the second half of the conference action, so much easier. And of course, it's reflected in my winning streak. But when I got to do the other corporate stuff and sit on conference calls and take care of running the sites and running the business, boy, it really can ruin your day. And that's why I'm late on today's video report. Now, listen, all your promos, etc., are over on the homepage. Just keep in mind, today is the final day to take advantage of the $175 savings on any handicapper 60-day package by using coupon code SAVE175. That is a byproduct of Scott Delaney winning the Charity Play of the Week on Monday, as I attempt to bribe you to make a contribution. And if you have not yet made one, please do so. If you're watching the video on the homepage, you can always scroll right down and you'll see the link to that family in Independence, Missouri, whose little girl has two very rare genetic neurological conditions, and they're looking to help raise some funds to cover her $1,000 a month in prescription medication and various hospital bills, etc. If you can give, I'd appreciate it, because that's what makes the charity play work. Now, you can save $125 off the purchase price of any handicapper's 30-day package by using coupon code SAVE125, or maybe you have a favorite handicapper and you want to give them a trial for 7 days. We'll do so and save $50 in the process by using coupon code SAVE50. All the discount codes plus the latest 100-dime winner at a discounted price from Anthony Red and Gabriel DuPont. Matter of fact, DuPont's going for his third in this week alone, and his second in as many days. And let me just check. I think Anthony Red is going for college basketball 109 winner number 15 out of 20, and he's on that late game tonight between St. Mary's and Pepperdine. It goes at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Very interesting game because, you know, Pepperdine was one of the two teams to beat St. Mary's in conference play this season, and now they're having the rematch, and it's on St. Mary's home floor. Now, Pepperdine won outright as an 8.5-point underdog the first go-round. Tonight, they're getting 10.5. I don't know. I think it's a damn tough game. I mean, if you had to back me into the corner, I would probably grab the points with Pepperdine, because just because the Gales lost the first go-round doesn't mean they're automatically going to roll here in revenge here tonight. So I think the dog is the way to go. You'll have to see which way Anthony Red goes, and you can do so because he's the half-price play of the day on that 11 o'clock Eastern time tip-off simply by using coupon code LATE, L-A-T-E. Now, let's get to your complimentary plays. First game I'm going to take a look at is Syracuse, minus the 2.5 at home against Florida State. As I mentioned when I used the Orangemen a couple of weeks ago as a play against Notre Dame, I don't like Jim Boeheim. Never have liked Jim Boeheim. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the socks he wears either, okay? I just think that he is just one of these whiny-ass guys that I have just never taken a liking to. And I'm sure he feels the same way about me. But I will give you a free play on the Orangemen here tonight. They're playing some good ball, and they're well rested because they haven't played since last Wednesday's overtime win against Virginia Tech, who they beat by 8. Before that, they beat Georgia Tech by 3. They beat Notre Dame by 15. But just keep in mind, the Irish did not have their top player, Demetrius Jackson, available for that game. But they're 3-0 in their current homestand, which ends tonight. They have won 4 straight at home, 6 of their last 7 overall. Florida State comes in here after a 91-71 win at Wake Forest, and they have won 4 straight overall as well. I think it's an interesting game for the dynamics, because you've got a Florida State team that loves to play up-tempo, that loves a transition game, and it's an offense that's fueled by 2 freshman guards who have really made a difference. Malik Beasley, averaging 18 points and 5.5 rebounds in ACC play this season. Meanwhile, his running mate in the backcourt, Dwayne Bacon, is averaging 14.5 points and a little over 6 rebounds a game this season. This is a good shooting Florida State team. As I said, they like to play up-tempo. They are 19th in the country in terms of the percentage of shots they take in transition. But the immovable force here is Syracuse. Syracuse wants to slow down the pace, as you know, with that traditional matchup zone that Boeheim has employed so successfully during his tenure in the New York school. You know, Syracuse leads the nation in the lowest number of shots surrendered in transition at 15.4. Again, Florida State is 19th in the country in the percentage of shots they take in transition. That's 28.5. So you've got definitely an interesting dynamic here. Can those young guards deliver in the Carrier Dome, which you've seen many a shooter when they play in that big cavernous arena? I don't know if you've ever been there, but it definitely, I've always felt, affects your depth perception when you're coming in there. And when you're freshman and you're the leading scorers for your team, I think that makes it all the more tough. And considering that Syracuse is number one in terms of ACC defenders against the three-point shot, as opponents are only hitting a little over 27% from downtown, I think laying the 2.5 points with the Orange is the way to go in this contest. Now, your next complimentary play. Let's see. It's a tough one, guys, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Old Dominion at home minus the 13 points against North Texas. And it seems like a big number when you consider that Old Dominion isn't Florida State. They're another slow down, deliberate offensive style team. But what makes Old Dominion so effective offensively is they hit the boards hard. In fact, they get 38.4% of their own misses off the offensive glass. Well, you're getting 38% of your misses. You're getting a hell of a lot of second chance points. They're also a team that takes control of the ball and handles it well. Per 100 possessions, they only commit an average of 12 turnovers a game. That's one of the top marks in the country. In fact, both those marks in terms of their offensive rebounding and their ability to hold on to the ball, leading Conference USA. They lost their last home game 78-75 against Marshall. And I want to point that out because think about that. This is a Marshall team that's in top 10 in terms of points scored. This is a Marshall team that plays up tempo, a Marshall team that can easily score 95 points on you any given day. They only scored 78 points when they played in Norfolk. Then, after losing to Marshall, Old Dominion goes on the road and they go 3-0. They won at Florida Atlantic by 12. They won at Florida International by 4. They won by 5 in overtime at NC Charlotte. I don't know if you're, probably half of you out there don't even know that Old Dominion's in the Conference USA, and I understand that. But listen, the Monarchs have one of the hottest players in college basketball right now when it comes to offensive production, Trey Freeman, a guard for them. He's averaged 27.8 points in the past 10 games. He's coming off a career-high 38 points against Charlotte. When he's on the floor, he takes 38.4% of Old Dominion shots. That's the most in the country, okay? That's second in the nation. In Conference USA action alone, when he's on the floor, he takes 42.4% of their shots. But then again, when you're averaging 21.3 points per season on the season, and you're in the last 10 games averaging nearly 28 points a game, hey, what the hell? Shoot the ball 30 times, as he did in the overtime win at NC Charlotte over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Mean Green of North Texas, coming off a 2-0 homestand in which they beat Southern Miss, big deal, by 15. They did come off a nice upset against Louisiana Tech. They were down by 10 at home in that one. They won it as a home dog, 80-69. But listen, they had lost their 5 previous games. They're 1-7 on the road this season. They're 1-4 on the Conference USA road this season, and those 4 losses have all come by double-digit margins, and their opponents have averaged 85.8 points a game in those 4 straight losses to UTEP, Middle Tennessee State, Alabama, Birmingham, and Rice. So that's why I'm willing to lay the points with Old Dominion at home, minus the 13 as your other complimentary play. Now, in terms of the complimentary plays, I like Syracuse a lot more than Old Dominion, but I still think the Monarchs are a decent play as well. So that'll do it, guys, for today's video report. Sorry for being late, and I will see you again on Friday when we do this one more time.